The final performance. The stage was set. The crowd's murmurs echoed softly through the darkened theater as they waited for the great illusionist Alistair Kane to perform his final trick. Kane was legendary, known for making the impossible seem real. But tonight was different. He had promised something no one had ever seen before, the ultimate act of magic. Backstage, Alistair gazed at the mirror, his wrinkled hands trembling slightly. At 70, he had performed his magic for half a century, and now he was ready to reveal the truth. His assistant, a young woman named Clara, entered the room with concern in her eyes. "Are you sure you want to do this?" she asked. He nodded. "It's time." The lights dimmed, and the crowd hushed as Alistair Kane stepped onto the stage, his black cape flowing behind him. He began his usual routine, vanishing objects, levitating, reading minds. The audience was captivated, but they were waiting for the grand finale. Then, Kane paused. "Ladies and gentlemen, for my final act, I will not just perform magic, I will become magic." The audience gasped as he gestured toward a large glass box suspended in midair. Clara wheeled a table onto the stage, placing a silver dagger and a small bottle beside the box. Alistair walked to the table, picked up the bottle, and drank its contents. The audience shifted nervously, uncertain of what was happening. Kane then stepped inside the glass box, locking it from the inside. Clara placed the dagger at his feet and slowly backed away. "Tonight, I reveal the ultimate truth about magic," Alistair said, his voice calm and measured. "The greatest trick of all is that magic is real, and so am I." With that, he reached for the dagger and plunged it into his chest. The crowd screamed, horrified. Clara rushed forward, but Alistair held up his hand, stopping her. His eyes were wide, filled with an eerie calm as blood began to pool around him. "This is the end," he whispered, his voice barely audible. For a moment, everything went silent. The crowd was frozen in shock. But then, something unbelievable happened. The blood vanished, absorbed into thin air. Alistair's body shimmered and slowly faded, turning transparent until he completely disappeared. The glass box shattered into dust, leaving nothing but empty space. The audience erupted in confusion. Clara, tears streaming down her face, turned to them and whispered, "He told me he wouldn't come back." 1 year later, on the anniversary of his final performance, the theater stood empty, the stage untouched since that fateful night. As midnight struck, a figure appeared in the center of the stage, Alistair Kane, looking just as he did that night. He smiled, not at the crowd but at the empty theater. "I told you," he whispered to no one in particular, "magic is real." And then, just as he appeared, he was gone.